Nigel Farage praised Donald Trump and drew cheers from the crowd after boasting voters in America and Britain had stuffed the establishment. Speaking at the Conservative Political Action Conference CPAC, Mr Farage brought the House down with a triumphant speech after Mr Trump had taken to the stage earlier in the day. Mr Farage opened his CPAC address after being introduced as Mr Brexit by praising the audience for helping Mr Trump get elected as US President in 2016. He said Mr Trump had surpassed expectations and boosted America's reputation despite the various controversies which have besieged the White House since he took power in January 2017. EPA Reuters. Nigel Farage received a standing ovation after his passionate CPAC speech in America today. Mr Farage said, "I thought he'd be good, but I've got to tell you, he has exceeded all expectations. He is on the way to being truly a great president of this country." Mr Farage said he had spoken to Mr Trump after his speech today and was impressed by his oozing confidence. He said, "I was fortunate that shortly after he came off this stage one got the chance to have a conversation with him. Here was a president at ease with himself, in good humor, at the very top of his game." Nigel Farage said there would be no more Mr. Nice Guy if the Brexit vote was rerun, and he issued a rallying cry ahead of the upcoming midterm elections in America as well as a hypothetical Brexit revote in the UK. He said he completely backed his decision to campaign for Mr. Trump and likewise did not regret his influence during the Brexit referendum. Mr. Farage said, "It was the best decision I've ever made in my life. If you insult the intelligence and decency of people and force a second Brexit vote, I will be straight back in the front line of that campaign. I will." Reuters. Nigel Farage said Donald Trump was at the very top of his game. "Do not underestimate the power of ordinary people when they get together and go out and make things happen. I don't want to have to do the against, but if they want the battle refought next time, it'll be no more Mr. Nice Guy. We've got to keep fighting to make sure that your victory is permanent." After leaving the stage, the former UKIP leader received a huge standing ovation from the US audience.